My name is Mark Harvey. Today I have a very special guest for the panel. We're going to be talking about business, life, money, and property. Most importantly, we're here to share with you what are all the ups and downs and the topsy-turvies of life that take most people out of the game, where really we just need to know our worth. We need to buckle up and enjoy the ride. Because some people say, especially in property, they say it's a bit of a journey. Or some other people, they say it's like a roller coaster. Well, the last time I went on a roller coaster, it was pretty damn fun. So if that's the case, I'm happy to ride this baby all day long. So guys, I want you to put in the comments right here, who are you? Well, you don't have to put who you are because your name will come up, but let's just say, put in the comments, where are you? I want to know. Let's know where the audiences are. And let me know if you got any questions tonight about property, about money, or about business. There's a little philosophy that we abide by, and that is, if you're not asking the questions, you don't want it bad enough, because there's always a question to ask. And anytime, masterminds, Q&As, these live things that are done like that, sometimes questions don't come too thick and fast from all types of people. So really what that is, it's just an indicator of like how much you want it. So what I'm going to say to you guys watching this, put hashtag live if you are watching it live, put hashtag replay if you're watching it on the replay. Now, give Real Life Group a follow here on this page. Go search a Mark Harvey page, give that a follow. Go to the Mark Harvey YouTube channel, give that a subscribe. Why? Because we are bringing you all of the different strategies, all of the different ins and outs of how to make property a vehicle for your financial freedom. But really, to find out what it is that you really want in life, and know that there's business development and there's transformational development that you've got to do. Because it takes both, because it's the mindset, and we are the only property and business and mindset, the combination of all three, that will take you to the other level. Even so much so that you can go to reallifepropertywealth.com right now, reallifepropertywealth.com, and you can get a ticket to, where can you get a ticket to? You can get a ticket to a 2-day live event. Oh my goodness. Here we go. What's this? Real Life Property Wealth. Yes. You can get a ticket and we will sponsor your ticket. Go check this page out. We will literally sponsor your ticket. So you can just pay a booking fee of £1 and we will sponsor your ticket so you can come to this entire 2-day live program where you will learn how to find deals, and you'll then find the deals. Then you'll learn how to raise money, and you'll then raise the money. You'll learn out all the strategies, then you'll pick your strategy. You'll learn how to define a demand in an area, then you'll pick an area, then you go in to work out all the numbers and how to make offers to get offers accepted without running around all over the country. Most of all, you're going to learn the personal development and the mindset that it takes to achieve this, and we will put you right in the thick of it to make it happen. Yeah, so that's right there in the comments, I think. Anyway, so that's there for you to click, have a go, have a look, make it happen, bring it, all your friends, all your family, because where else would you rather be at the end of August? Yeah, you might want to say holiday, but make your life a holiday. How's that? Yeah, that's cool. So Michael, thank you for coming on this show today. We love to have you on the Real Life Money Monday panel. Now, I know you're featured on Real Life Transformation Tuesday. Yeah, I shared your story here, but we're going to take it to another level in here, because most people are looking for like this get rich quick thing, and then that's kind of transformed into, no, I'm not looking for get rich quick because that stuff's like a scam and all the rest of it. Well, people are still looking for quick wins, and when they don't find them, they get hurt mentally and emotionally, and they find it very difficult to turn things around. So tonight, yeah, if that's you, or you know someone that may be of the same journey, may have similar thoughts or similar experiences, why don't you tag them in here right now? So tag your friends, tag your family, tag whoever you know, tag who's ever in your Facebook list or your social media list, so that they at least have the chance to come and see, if this is going to be useful for them or not. Because when it comes to turning things around, Michael, it's going to be super authentic. We've already discussed this and had a couple of chats building up to this. And we really want to share and bear all because we think it's super important that people know that there is a path, there is a way, no matter how deep the water seems, no matter how dark it gets, there is always, always, always a way out. And that's going to be the message throughout this whole episode. So again, Micheal, thank you for joining us. It's a great pleasure to have you here.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, good. So, Micheal, just fill us in a little bit. People may have read the bio, but just for the sake of that, just give us the highlights of how did you get to the point? Yeah, I want you to say where you came from, what happened during your life, and how did you get to that point where you say, yeah, I'm looking for more, or life's not the way I want it to be, so I need to do something different. Bring us up to speed to that point.
Yeah, sure. So, as the bio mentioned, really kind of came from a pretty kind of hairy moment in life, being raised through family. Parents divorced at a relatively young age, and there was a little bit of a journey to go through in that, I think, as most families would experience with that happening in their families also. But the events that happened in that time really shaped as a family how we operated, and me is who I am today, when I really go into the detail about what happened at those times. And I think the essence of that really kind of focused my mind as to how in the future in my life, I don't want my life to be like that. I want to be able to offer things that I couldn't have had in terms of a father figure that I mentioned in my bio about him leaving the family at a young age and leaving debts behind and leaving us to struggle, which brought the family closer together to overcome. For me, as a person moving forward, and especially now in business, is to really create a culture of wealth around me so that my future family never have to worry in that essence, and I can be a father figure to my children growing up, but also the mindset that comes with the challenges is naturally quite negative, and that doesn't just go away overnight. And as time has gone on and I've grown as a person, there have been things that have come to light that I wouldn't have necessarily been aware of at a younger age, but now that I'm getting older, things do start to come back and they hold me back, and there's definitely a journey that I have to go through to deal with that, and have had to go through to deal with that. So going through working career and working various roles at a company and becoming fairly well established within the organization, I felt that I was coming to a bit of a dead end with progression, and the environment that I was in became quite unhealthy in terms of the people that I was working with, the corporate mentality, and the general culture in the work environment was just not a great place to be in. And I think over a period of time, being stuck in the same routine and same negative environment just really put a new perspective on where I wanted to be in life. And I was just questioning, what is life? What is life about? What am I here for? This isn't something that I feel is what I need or want in my life right now. And ultimately start searching for other things and answers. I think that the point I got to with my working career and how that ended was when I say questioned life, like I really questioned what life actually meant to me at that point. The whole feeling worthless, not progressing, being made to feel of no value whatsoever in the workplace, and
was that through like other people in the business comment? I mean, what were some of the kind of things that were going on?
Yeah, so it's actually a challenge to look back at that in clarity when, because it was such a tough period of time. It was more about absolutely the other people within the business, how they conduct themselves, in the environment, basic communication levels just being pretty poor. It was a project environment, and it was a very stressful environment by nature, as most of these corporate projects are. And situations were being dealt with in quite an aggressive and somewhat bullying way. And I remember a specific moment. I was working away from home, and a situation occurred at work during the day, and it got to early hours of the morning. I remember contacting my mum and was just in pieces about the day and how it went, and just really questioning everything. And I ended up packing my bags and leaving the hotel I was staying in, and coming home that day. And the very next day I signed out of work and had to take some time out from the environment. And that then proceeded into, legal proceedings because of what had happened. And over a period of time, that case was won by myself, because what I was experiencing was being experienced by other people. And because I stood up and voiced what I was going through, it gave other people strength to speak of their stories and what they were going through in similar situations in the same environment, which for me, looking back at, was actually quite a proud and humbling moment, because I gave people a voice to deal with what they were dealing with also. But also for me, it gave me the opportunity to really consider what I wanted in life. And at that time, because I was really questioning what my purpose was, I found Real Life, you guys, and my coaching and mentorship that I would have with you really helped me understand what I needed to do to move myself forward and find my way in the property world. And and we're here today doing great things. So it's been a serious challenge.
So why property?
So property has always been something that I've been interested in. My mum has always had an interest in property as well. And there was an evening a few years ago that she came across an open evening for a property group that were doing seminars, and it was an introductory evening to what they do and the courses they offer. And we attended it that evening, and we were actually really inspired by what they were presenting, because the presenter herself was actually in business with her son at the time. So it connected with my mum, connected with me, because of the freedoms that they were explaining that it could provide. Made it all so super simple, and like we could walk into it by the end of the week and be living financially free by the end of the year, kind of thing. It was absolutely the golden ticket. So we came away from that really inspired, and we actually joined that particular group, and we did that because property as a vehicle is a great strategy to create wealth and for it to be passive, providing that everything's systemized in the right way to create the passive part of property. And ultimately for me at that point, it was, and my desire was to have freedom in life. And the environment I was in at that time wasn't a freedom environment. It was very closed off, very caged up, and demanding in terms of the work aspects of it. So I really connected it for the freedom side of things, the whole working with people, creating great relationships and creating wealth as part of that journey was something that I was really attracted to. So that is why we both ended up starting up property businesses, was to create that income, to create the freedoms that property can offer. So that's how we started out.
Good. So looking back now, having like a almost holistic view, for people who might want to or might see the same or might see the contrary, which is like, oh yeah, no, that can't happen for me. Like what was the mindset, or what was, like what state were you coming in at, would you say?
Terrible state. It was there's no bones about it. I was depressed, seriously depressed. And I was on medication for a period of time. And before being introduced to real life, come across you guys, I was at that point where work was failing, couldn't see my way out of it. My relationship at the time was failing, didn't know what it looked like on the other side. And that one evening, early hours of the morning when I left the hotel, was the tipping point for me, where I realized something just wasn't right at all. Taking the step away from that environment in the weeks and months that led on after that really allowed me to become very aware of what state of mind I was actually in. And it hit home like a ton of bricks. And I realized at that moment that I wasn't healthy and my mindset was not what it needed to be. The happy, healthy, free feeling that we all desire.
So what did you learn going into, this new training and that property group that you joined?
Quite frankly, not a great deal. It gave us the principles of what property was about, but actually to walk away from the classroom, the theory of it, and to put it into practice wasn't anywhere near what we needed to actually conduct ourselves in the market safely. So we dabbled in it and were coming up against obstacles left, right, and centre through trying to move forward with it. The systems that were taught weren't usable in how we understood it at the time, and that actually created even more of a negative emotion for me personally, because it was, well, actually I'm trying to start and create a new lifestyle, but actually this isn't working out. So how much more digging do I need to do into myself to really understand what I am doing right or wrong? So
how was how was the start of the journey? Like, I mean, did you have you said they taught you the principles. So like, did you have the theory? Did you have that kind of know-how of how it kind of pieces together?
Yeah, the know-how was there in terms of the theory of the processes, but actually conducting the work in the field and then coming up against the obstacles and then finding ways to deal with the obstacles because there's 101 obstacles that come with property, and without that support, how else do we move forward? And I think that's what it really lacked for us, was the support moving us forward. The theories worked, but then what about when it's not a golden flow? What happens when something goes wrong? And that didn't seem like it was there at that point.
So when you started and you wanted to have this venture in property investing, did you go out there, start taking the action, and did things then go wrong?
Say that again, sorry. Just broke up.
So when you went out, did you start applying this and look for deals, and then what happened? Like, did things go smoothly? Did things go wrong? Like, what was the situation?
Yeah, so we were looking for deals. We couldn't find things that would stack up. We were doing the calculations. We were, as part of the mentorship, we were encouraged to go really far north for the cheaper properties and work in territories that were 2-3 hours away from where we live. And whilst that is absolutely possible, the first time that we started in property, knowing what I know now, absolutely is possible. And systems and other people in our teams can facilitate transactions like that to happen. But for us to be traveling back and forth daily to those investment areas, viewing properties, stacking up deals and trying to find things that worked, was something that we really struggled with at that time. And I think as the journey kind of unfolded and we were hitting these challenges, we started looking elsewhere to other people for support. And that's when we came across you guys in business. And I think we attended one of your first events in London, and that kind of reignited our fire as to how we move forward with the property business. And for us, the standout point at that point was the support network that was being offered, and the strategies that you guys were implementing in your journey was something that we really connected with on a different level, because one, it seemed and is so much more achievable, and the support network had really and has really supported us through the journey up to now in our property journey. So that was our missing link for us in property. We don't travel 3 hours away to an investment area to do business. We work, within an hour of where we live at the moment, and it's very much more of an enjoyable process. Our skill set in terms of having teams around us to enable us to expand in different areas of the country is absolutely there now, because of the network that we're within, and the support that we have. So yeah, it's a much better place in terms of what we're doing in our journey now.
Yeah, so guys, wherever you're watching this, put hashtag live if you're watching it here live now, put hashtag replay if you're watching the replay. And I just want to just put it in the comments here, maybe even give it a share as well, just spread this out, because if you're relating to this anyway, that sort of corporate life, job life, it sometimes can be very difficult. Things can really stack up against you, don't really start to work for you, and opportunities out there then sometimes don't really supply all of the ins and outs of what it really takes for you to take advantage of it. So actually it chips away from the already, cracked and dented confidence and beliefs that may have happened because of all these other, situations, and I don't mind saying, I'm a very straight talker here, of when it comes to helping people, when it comes to the real deal here of, and by the way, you guys watching, just comment your own experience if you've been involved with this, comment your experience if you've not been involved, but you've been watching or whatever, and let us know right here. We've got nothing to hide. So when it comes to knowing what to do and having all this technical information, yeah, absolutely, it's super very important. You got to have it. Yeah, but what has created Real Life Group and the training that we provide, the coaching, the mentoring, the community, and what's caused us to have the highest success rate, definitely in the UK, probably the world, the highest success rate. I'm not talking the largest number of people that have succeeded, because there are people that's been around 15, 20 years, people around 6, 7, 8 years. Yeah, we are not even 3 years old yet. Our first event was in November 2018. Yeah, which I think you came to, Michael. Yeah, and we have the highest success rate. The number of people come versus the number of people that succeed is the highest. Yeah, why is that? Because it's also the personal development, the mindset, the emotional management of what's called a roller coaster ride and all the rest of it. And here's the dilemma, guys. Listen closely, because you might need to tag someone. You might want to use this here to benefit yourself. Here's the dilemma. The dilemma is, with the high success rate, but yet still the problem, changing people's lives, transforming people's lives, giving them a way out, giving them that sight, being that beacon of light. And I'm not just talking about myself, I'm talking about the whole community, all of the coaches, all of the trainers, all of the crew, all of the staff, all of the team that's involved in delivering this. Not only that, all the team that's delivered in the construction business, doing huge deals, our personal property development business, all the people that make that work, because it's that also inspires other people as well. So there's, many people involved here, but yet still not enough people know about us. Yeah, that is the dilemma. Yeah, because we know, and Michael knows, and many other people, and Bobby, Jennifer, Sonia, Claudia, Will Taylor, all these people, on here, they all know also, how transformational this stuff is. So if you do know anyone, or you yourself, you are in marketing, we're looking for someone, because maybe people out there, they're very good at marketing, but not so good at delivering. They can get you, to the room and inspire you, but not so good at delivering to make sure you get results, and I'm not naming anyone particular. I'm just saying this is what happens. These are the statistics that are out there. It's the data. But maybe what we need to do is find someone or work with someone that can supply the other side, which is get the people aware of who we are. And then if they want, something like this and want this vehicle and want to build this business and want to build other businesses, then, when it comes to delivery, when it comes to training, when it comes to the environment, the coaching, the mentoring, then, the real deal to deliver. So if you are someone, you direct message me, you let me know. If you are someone that knows how to market, how to put email sequences together, if you know how to build web pages that, get people's attention, if you know Facebook advertising, if you know pay-per-click, if you know Twitter, I know just bought about a platform, Instagram, if you know YouTube advertising strategies, if you know LinkedIn strategies, whatever it is, I don't care what it is. Yeah, if you know, or you know someone, by the way, so it might not be you, but let's say you know someone, also direct message me, let me know, tag them in this even, and there might even be a nice little juicy introduction fee for you, just for the awesomeness of exchange. So we're looking for, top players who can market real life and the training, because we know how transformational it is. So do let us know if that is the case. So Michael, what was the like you said, your emotions and your mental state was very tough, or what did you say? You were depressed, right?
Sure.
Yeah, and then when you went into it and things didn't go your way, it kind of made that worse. That's where we got to, wasn't it? So
Yeah.
let's bring it back to that. So, first of all, like how, what was the situation like? Because again, online, not being aware of us is one thing, but like when you did become aware of us, like what were your thoughts, and how did then you believe in yourself or trust the process after already being kind of burned and left in a worse state than when you started? How did you kind of come to terms with trusting again?
I think the connection I had, speaking for myself, I'm sure my mum from the event that we had with you connected in the same way, but it was more of an emotional connection with you that I hadn't experienced for some time. It was just a level of trust, and really felt that, there's somebody there that actually has my back and is going to support me in what I need and want to achieve. That was the difference to me. I think that was my turning point. The awareness of where I really was came through the coaching, when I started coaching with Lewis at the time. And when the awareness came, then was when I realized truly where I was with myself. And I think once that awareness was made, we knew what to do to move forward. And we had 2 weekly calls and put things in process and progress things, and right up to, because it wasn't necessarily a case of just becoming aware of where I was with it and then it was okay, well, let's just start doing business, because that's not how it went. It was a journey to really figure that out and understand how to handle it and to become better for it. Then business came and we started following processes and being held accountable through coaching and mentoring to start securing deals, which came in good time. So that for me was the start of recovery, if you like.
Okay, good. But what happened? Because it wasn't all smooth swimming, was it?
No.
Yeah. So what happened?
I was at that point that led me into the coaching, where, as I mentioned briefly earlier, that I was really questioning where and what life was really about. I was actually just having a conversation with somebody this weekend about that, who's currently going through something similar. And what's great about it in a weird way is that because I've experienced it, I've been able to relate to them, what my journey looks like, and have been able to support them in a way that they felt like I did, completely trapped, alone, that actually if I talk about it, I'll be frowned upon. And that being, I questioned life and just really wondered what it was worth to me. I was valuing my life at that point. It was a super, super dark moment. And actually something that I've never, ever shared with anybody before. But I think through the truth of being authentic here, I sat in my car one evening and I wrote what I thought would be my last words. It was there. That's when I really understood and reached out to Lewis in the authentic way and needed to get that help. Thankfully I have such a supportive family around me, and with all that support, it has changed my life. I'm no longer there. And I know I never will be. But I think it's important to remember those periods, because without them, I wouldn't have the strength I have today, and for sure wouldn't be able to have conversations with people in those positions either to support them.
So what were some of the milestone points that enabled you to keep making this climb up the emotional scale, but also up the success ladder?
For me, it was the constant check-ins. It was setting actions and achieving them. Practice of gratitude, celebrating the wins, which I still suck at doing today, because for me, I'm the type of person that unless it's a huge win, I don't feel to celebrate. But actually, it's the lots of small steps that equate to the bigger wins, right? And as a result of the awareness around that and it's something that you'd mentioned before, which was a bit of a light bulb moment for me, is get to goals, right? I've set get to goals before, thinking that once I have them, it will answer something else. It doesn't, so it's through coaching, the reconfirmation of the small wins and being held accountable to move forward. But also with the open line of communication to, have a relapse every now and then and just talk about in the truth about how you are feeling or I'm feeling. It's that in itself is quite powerful. I mean, even up to today, my coach Claudine is, just last week I had to reach out in a moment of panic about something, and materially nothing changes in life around us or me. It's just the thought process that I choose to follow through awareness that creates my internal reality, which then creates the thoughts and feelings. So
yeah, that's what I was going to ask, because you name a lot of technical things like, keeping accountable, taking the action, all the rest of it. But on a personal or mindset, almost like the invisible work that people, they know it's there, but they don't really talk about it. What were those kind of milestones, that really kept you hanging on in there with, the hope, the trust, the positive expectation of, things are going to turn around?
I'm not sure how to answer it really. It's repeat the question for me. Actually, I think I've got maybe two answers as to how to answer
it. So what's the milestone point? Like you talked about the milestones of the technical development, yeah. What's the milestones of like the personal side or that transformational side that kept you growing, that, kept you in the game? Like what were the milestone points? Because let's think of it, Michael, there's people out there, when some of us, we go through things in life and it makes it hard for us because we think that we're the only one. And it's just because all the other people are going through it silently as well. So what are those milestones where it's all silent and invisible out there that you can share today for anyone seeing this, to give them that inspiration, to give them that, motivation to keep going?
Sure. The one thing for me is don't be silent. I think that for me captures everything. What I found in my darkest moments is when I kept things to myself, it just got darker. And then as soon as I started talking about it, I actually realized, what the hell am I talking about? So talk to people. And actually, I've not met one person that's frowned upon me for, in that moment, feeling like that and talking about it. I'm not sure it's human nature for anybody to say anything bad about somebody that feels bad about themselves. So it's not as scary as people might think. But the scariest part is talking and becoming aware. For me, it was not allowing myself to accept that I wasn't in a great place, to put a story up, to create an ego or a story to hide what was really going on for me. Once that all was stripped back, I had nothing to hide behind, and I couldn't hide from the situation other than just to deal with it. So staying in the truth and talking about the situation is absolutely the way I dealt with it.
That's super awesome. So okay, so that's all the stuff that you had around you. So now, what is it that you've done over this back end period? It's been a couple of years now. So what have you done over this back end period to turn it around, property wise, deals wise, money wise, and now what you're also looking at?
Yeah, sure. So really, for me, it's all been about building teams. We've built some incredible teams around us, JV partnerships that are moving forward, and we'll be moving forward with some amazing deals very soon. The business structures within are changing. My mum and sister are actually launching and have already launched their interior design business, which is already doing really well. I'm super proud of those guys. We've done a few projects in the Midlands. We continue to look at further projects. Just today, I'm looking at a new development site, 8 plots, looking at somewhere around 3.5 to 4 million as a GDV, which is something that I never thought I'd ever be looking into on a serious level. But today we've made some moves.
Say that again.
Which bit?
The deal.
So yeah, that deal, the development deal, somewhere in the region of 3.5 to 4 million as a GDV. It's not something I thought I'd be doing at this point in my journey.
Look how calm this future billionaire is. Put it in the comments if you think he looks like he can be a billionaire. Just let me know in the comments. I know you can only see his, top of his torso and his face right now. But when you see this guy fully dressed, expressing himself, walking around, to me, he looks like a billionaire, in the making. And what's interesting is one thing that you didn't mention, and people's biggest downfall is, well, here's the good news and the not so good news. The good news is the potential that is in people is astronomical. The not so good news is they don't see it. And just like, a flower, just like a piece of fruit, just like a wonderful, nature garden, if the right environment is not there, if the right nourishment is not there, then they don't flourish. And that's the difference. And that's where sayings like, the environment is more powerful than the will, and the content is important, but what's always more important is the context. And that's exactly what we teach, and that is that we create. So it's not about individuals, it's about, a whole togetherness. As you might have seen on a popular film, The Circle of Trust. Yeah. But yeah, there is no kind of, hey, you're excluded, get out of it. It's like, hey, guys, if we're going to work together, let's, bring the right people together. And I always think that the right people will come into your life at that time. Problem is, when it's all good, we see it and we're like thankful for it. When it's so-called bad, or negativity, like we just go deeper down. Why? Because we're not seeing it as a lesson that I need to change something. I need to take a level of responsibility to because you know the good thing about finding out, you know, most people, they don't know what they want, right? And the problem is that people don't admit what it is they don't want, because that's the way to finding what you want. Realize what you don't want and then get the opposite of that. But most people, they start running into what they don't want and finally accept it, or live in suffering. So you either live in suffering, which is very painful, or you settle for it, which I don't know which is worse, the settling or the suffering. I really don't know which is worse. Yeah. Rather than seeing it as, oh, wow, this is what I don't want. Now, let me turn that around on the other side of the coin, and let me go and get the other side of it. And as Robert Kiyosaki said, well, I think he wrote in his book that someone else said it, someone Fitzgerald, somebody, he said, true intelligence is when you can see and contemplate both sides of the coin and still operate and function. Meaning, when you can understand the right, the wrong, or the good, the bad, or whatever, the true, the false, when you can understand and see it from both sides and still be able to function. Because most people cannot. That's where most arguments come from. That's where most breakdowns in relationships come from. Breakdown in communication comes from, because someone's trying to prove right, someone's trying to prove wrong, or good, or this is good, or this is bad. Rather than actually, look, let's see the both sides of the same coin here. Let's be able to see it from both points of view here and still be able to function. Is that making sense to everybody here? Put it in the comments what you just take from what we just, what we just talked about there. Yeah, and I've got a few more questions for you before we start wrapping this up, Michael, because, next we got our real life mastermind where people come together, get all the questions answered, and move forward from there. And also, we got the next 2-day live event where people really do come together live in the room, and we just rock the house at PWT 4-day, a couple of weeks ago. And you were there, Michael. Well done for coming re-attending that, because the training never stops. It's never done. You're never done. You only just stop working on yourself, or you stop working on it. Yeah, but what principles do you want to share to the people, Michael, as a message for people who may have gone through similar things for yourself, or maybe looking at, what they might want to do or look out for in life?
Sure. Like I say earlier, speak up, get around people that are where you want to be. Educate yourself as well. Mindset education alone is such a powerful tool to have. And as you just said, it never stops. My brain especially plays tricks on me when I think I know it, I know nothing, right? It's something that I will always be interested in learning more about and questioning my own thoughts. I don't feel that I'll ever not have a coach either in business. And I liken it to athletes and sportsmen that have coaches for their teams. There's no difference just because it's a sports team. This is business, right? And I need a coach to make sure that I perform to the best of my abilities. And that's what it does, exactly that. It draws the best of me out. On the coaching calls that I have had with Lewis and Claudine up to now, it's in those moments I feel absolutely untouchable. The key is to take that away and to implement it in business and in life, which is the challenge, right? So continue education, get support, get around people that you want to be like in the future, and just stay true to yourself. Cut that BS out.
Well, you're receiving much love on here, my friend. So that is good. That is a continuation of this wonderful support network. So, look, it's been awesome to have you on here. I do have one more question for you that's very important. But I just want to say thank you for coming on here. Thank you. I could see there were points during this, panel discussion. That was very difficult, but look, you found the courage, you found the strength that is definitely within you to be able to share and inspire all the people that are watching now and in the future as well. Who knows how many people see this? We always say, like, look, if one person watches this, changes their direction of the path that they're on, then it's all worth it. And I think many, many, many people are going to see this, Michael. So good job. Thank you for doing that.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
So there is one more question, guys, that is massively important. So I don't know how you want to answer this for yourself in the comments. I want to hear from Michael. And that is that we always got to remember that we can never, ever, ever forget that people must do the right thing for the right reason. Now, why is that?
It's the only way you'll discover your true potential.
Yes. Come on, Sonny Jim. Excellent work, team. Thank you for watching this Real Life Money Monday panel. Do go to the Mark Harvey YouTube channel. Give that a subscribe. We've got many more property, business, and money subjects coming your way. Give this Real Life group a like and a share. Go to the Mark Harvey Facebook page, give that a like and a share. That's where you can receive daily content, updates, tips and tricks, and just inspiration to keep going when times are tough or when times are great. And when your mind needs some positive feed. That's it. Put hashtag positive feed in the comments if that's what you want to do, and then go ahead and give the Mark Harvey page. You got to go to the page, not my profile. I don't always share everything on there on my page. Give that a like and turn on the notifications when I go live so you can get that positive feed. So thank you so much, Michael, for being here. Thank you for everyone watching. Like Michael said, you got to do the right thing for the right reason, because that is the only way you will discover your